Hi everyone, good evening. So as Darren said, my name's Becky. I was a primary school teacher for just over 8 years and then a secondary school teacher for over 2 years. And for the last 3 years, I've worked for the Tech She Can Charter. So Tech She Can, our aim is to increase the diversity of people working in the tech industry, in particular, and attracting more women into the world of technology and careers. We have 208 organisations signed up to the Charter, and only last week we officially launched as a charity in our own right as well. So officially now I no longer work for PwC, and I actually officially work for Tech She Can as a charter now because we're independent in our own right. To find out more about Tech She Can itself, the charter, who has signed up to the charter, I've just posted a link in the chat to that. That is the charity who I work for. But what I'm here to talk to you about today is Tech We Can. Tech We Can are all of our educational resources which we offer to children in schools. It's called Tech We Can, probably quite obvious because it's for both boys and girls, but it is female friendly. What we mean by that is a large piece of research that was actually commissioned by PwC went out into universities across the UK, and they interviewed young women and said, why is it that you're not choosing computing and technology? Many of them overwhelmingly actually said that they didn't choose it because they wanted a job that did good for the world and they didn't see how technology played a role in that. They wanted to be nurses, doctors, teachers, work in childcare. They saw how that did good, but they did not see how technology or computing or that played a role. What we do in a lot of our resources, all of them actually, is highlight those roles of tech for good, highlight all the ways that technology is helping the planet, helping people, helping animals, helping us for the future. Also, as was mentioned previously, the majority of the role models the children see in the resources are female and women. So we're trying to counteract that balance. Just as somebody said previously, like that's if you Google if engineer or you Google cybersecurity, a lot of the people you see are male. We're trying to counteract that with a lot of them are female. Not all, because we have boys in the lessons too, but the majority are. First one says is we offer 3 different things completely free to schools. We offer, first of all, our lesson packs. The lessons are designed for children who are aged 9 to 14 years old. So let me get this right. As an English teacher, that would be P6, P7, S1, and S2, I think, around those ages. So it's that transition between the primary and secondary school age. And we have 14 of those lesson plans available. They are in a variety of different areas. We have things that are obviously techie and computing, like tech for tech for safety and security, and tech for engineering and all things like that. But then we also have ones where you wouldn't immediately think, the children wouldn't immediately relate that to a computing or tech. So we have things like tech for history and tech for food and tech for entertainment and art. The point of these lessons is that we don't actually teach any specific computing skills such as coding in them. What we show them within the lessons are, so you're into history, let me show you all the way that technology is advancing in these areas, all the ways archaeologists use tech, and let me show you all the people working, creating that kind of technology. So you're into the movies, or you're into the theatre, or you like to dance. Let me show you how that current passion that you have could work alongside computing and technology to be a role for you and a career for you in the future. When you watch that Marvel movie and all those names come up before the after credit part, let me tell you what all those names actually do. They're different people who work in lots of different areas of technology. The lesson packs are delivered by teachers yourselves, but they're not only delivered by computing teachers. They have been most successfully delivered across the entire school. For example, the geography teacher will take tech for the environment and talk all about how technology is being used to counteract global warming. The maths teacher will take tech for finance and talk all about how you could use both computing and maths as a role in technology and finance in the future. The art and music teacher takes tech for art and entertainment. How that's brilliant is the teacher that's passionate about that, it is telling the children about those careers, but also expands their knowledge of it. I have learned about more jobs in the last 3 years working for Tech She Can than I ever knew existed. And it literally feels like every month PwC are inventing and creating new roles for technologists because the technology is advancing that rapidly. So to keep you guys as teachers up to date with all the things you could suggest children to do, but not only you, all of your colleagues across the different departments in your school being aware of how their history, their geography, their English, their art could combine with computing to create a future career for these children. Because let's face it, I don't need to tell you guys, whatever job they go into, it's going to involve a lot of technology in the next 10 years' time. And actually, the statistic that I found only a few weeks ago, which is like baffling, is that 70% of the children we're teaching right now in 10 years' time will work in a job that doesn't currently exist in its current format. That to me is baffling, and that's the reason Tech Week can exist. Get those children to take note of how technology is advancing so that they don't lose out, basically, and they can broaden their knowledge of what's out there for them. It's mapped into multiple areas of the national curriculum. That includes the Scottish curriculum. So I've gone through all the lessons and mapped them into the Scottish curriculum across all the topics, and also the your careers guidance as well. I know you don't follow the Gatsby benchmarks, but it also meets a number of statements on your careers guidance. And there's diverse range of role model videos highlighting the breadth of paths into tech careers and how varied that is and how people have found their different ways into those roles. And there are full, mid, and low tech resources. The school I taught at, the secondary school I taught at, was in the eighth most deprived area of the UK in the middle of England. I had to, luckily made friends with the computing teacher, but I had to beg and borrow to try and get into that suite. And we didn't have one-to-one iPads like my children's school do across the road. So the reason we have full, mid, and low tech versions are, if you've got one-to-one iPads, brilliant. Go for the full tech version. Those lessons involve the children exploring AR apps and things like that, and then talking about all the different people that create them and the kind of jobs they could do. The low tech versions just don't involve them having any sort of technology. You can teach them without that. They just need the ability to be able to research for some of the group work. They are the lesson packs. They are, if you deliver them all, they are 2 hours long, but they're actually split into little blocks. So each one is about 12 blocks put together. So you can then, some people have adapted that. So they said, oh, I'm actually going to do activity 1, 4, 7, and 9. They're purposefully independent activities, so you can build it to fit into the time that you have. Then COVID hit, and we knew the children weren't with teachers or parents. So we did Tech Tuesdays for 10 consecutive weeks in the first lockdown. We went live every Tuesday with thousands of students, and we delivered the lessons online. They're about 30 to 40 minutes long, and we themed them again around the lessons. We said, hey guys, this week is Tech for Fun. Let's talk about gaming. Let's talk about all the people that work behind the computer games that you play. Let's talk about all the careers you could have, and let's hear from role models and people that work in those areas. They went so well and were received so well that we've continued to create those, because we've already got the pack of lesson packs, but we also know how tight time is for teachers at the moment. So it's probably much easier for you to fit in a 20 to 30-minute lesson or set it for the children for homework than it is for you to find time to fit a 2-hour lesson in when you've got so much catch up. They're viewed both at home and in school, and all of the Tech Tuesdays are followed by a creative challenge that is not tech dependent. So, for example, I mentioned Tech for Fun. At the end of that one, they designed a computer game character. We had a 15-year-old boy submit one that pretty much could have gone into Fortnite tomorrow. He'd done it on a computer game, and it was amazing. And we had a little girl who was 6 who actually said, here's my giraffe that shoots jelly beans, and she'd just drawn it on a piece of paper. So they are completely open, the challenges. They can submit it however they like. And future lessons, we've got Tech for the Future coming out soon, Tech for the Planet to coincide with COP, and then Tech for Future Homes, which will be early in January, where we're going to talk about everything from how it's in partnership with Zoopla. So we're going to talk about everything from who draws the house, who designs it, who builds it, what's the tech they use, who creates that tech, so how do you sell it using VR and AR. So we're going to go through the whole process of how to build and sell a home. And then Tech Weekend Champions. Tech Weekend Champions, we are currently training up hundreds of them, of Tech Weekend Champions across the UK, who are people currently working in technology. We've partnered with STEM ambassadors, so they will all be current STEM ambassadors who work in tech, who can come out into your schools and deliver a Tech Weekend lesson for you. So they'll deliver whichever one it is you want or they want to deliver, Tech for History, Tech for Art. They're then a live role model in the classroom, so you can chat to them about their job. And then obviously they can do the fun creative challenge with the children as well. That one's quite new. We launched it about 5 months ago, but obviously we've only been able to start going into schools in the last few weeks quite recently. So I'm really excited to see that one develop. These are just some of the stats. So with stats, we've got 630 schools at the moment in 25 different countries. We had 1,300 parents log on to deliver the lessons to their children at home, which is amazing. And we've had just over 7,000 views of the Tech Tuesdays. The views, though, some of them I know were watched in assembly, so we're working out how to accurately calculate the children in that, because one view, if it was an assembly, can obviously be a few hundred children. So we're working out how to more accurately calculate our reach. We know that gender bias starts from really early. Actually, some research shows 2. My daughter is 5, and she already thinks she can and can't do certain things, even though I am really trying to fight that. Then her brother, who is 8. So we have our first animation coming up. This is Katie and her dog Tex. Get it? Tex. I thought I was being quite clever there. This animation is designed for 5 to 8-year-olds. Katie and Tex will explore. There'll be about 6 to 7 minute long cartoons that you can play to little children. And the first one is all about tech for the future. So basically saying what's AR, what's VR, what's robotics and things like that. Katie and Tex will explore the technology and then explore the people who work in those areas. That is due for release, our first ever one, in January. So please keep an eye out for that. Okay, and breathe. And the website where you can sign up for free on Tech We Can is there. So you've got Tech She Can, the charity that create all this. Tech We Can is the platform where you can get free access to all the educational resources. Okay, that's it. Thanks.